What's going on, everybody? My name is Venatix. Welcome back to the channel. Warhammer 40k Darktide continues to amaze me with the amount of stuff these data miners are able to find. Things that are literally there in the game, available for us currently in this moment, but have yet have a way to see it. We're talking about a new data mine here, talking about the class base stat values and modifiers. If you thought you knew everything about the Zealot, or the Veteran, Ogryn, or Psyker, you're probably wrong, because we got some crazy new stats here that are currently applied to your characters without you potentially even knowing. Going quickly down the list here, and then we'll go more in depth, we have the Veteran, and in this we can see in the scripts basically modifiers and values for their health, toughness, including regeneration speed, and damage modifiers, stamina, your dodge, sprint, and critical strike. A lot of stuff here, and that's for all the classes: Veteran, Psyker, Zealot, and the Ogryns. Everything is here. Now, luckily, somebody in the comment section down below made an even easier to read colorized consolidated chart. Take a look at this bad boy. Ready to go. Now, first off, I look at this and I see the Veteran. We know for a fact that this is one of the best classes in the game. It just kind of overpowers and shadows everybody. But interestingly enough, screws down here a little bit. We got the sprinting here, but this is a toughness state damage modifier. It seems to take 200% more damage while sprinting. Very interesting compared to the Zealot, where if you are sprinting, you're only taking 50% damage to toughness, and if you're sliding as a Zealot, you actually take 0%. Very interesting there. That's for the toughness damage. Very cool. I kind of want to test that out more in theory. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to do so. So if you have, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, continuing on, you can see the base stamina stats. Now, this is kind of obvious stuff that I feel like you can figure out pretty quickly just by playing the game. Base stamina for the Veterans 2, Psykers 1, Zealot 3, Ogryn 4. That makes sense to me. I don't see anything wrong with these. I mean, I think the Psyker maybe should have 2, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not a Psyker main, not going to go into detail in there. Now, we do have this crazy regeneration delay when it comes to stamina, and I've been noticing this lately, and I know it's always been there, or maybe it hasn't. Who knows? The way that they do the hotfixes and patch notes, some things just get removed, and some things never even get added, but apparently they're just there. We got the Veteran regeneration delay for stamina at 1.25, while everybody else is 1 or below. The Psyker is half, Zealot 0.75, and the Ogryn 1. So crazy to think that that's a thing. And then if there's a talent in there too. When you're aiming down the sights using your secondary ability, it reduces your stamina, but you get increased crit chance, stuff like that. Just think about how fast that gets drained, and then it barely comes up compared to everybody else, and you're draining it again. Interesting food for thought right there. Now, there's a couple more stats here that I do want to talk about, like the dodge, jump, override timer. Can you actually jump dodge in this game, or can you like dodge jump, or is this purely like if you jump you technically have a dodge window? I'm not sure. I'm not fully understanding what exactly that means there. But then we also have the dodge linger time, and that one I think, and this is just a guess, but it's like a linger, right? So maybe it's like the invincibility window of when you dodge and then like a little bit after the dodge. So it's like you finish the motion, but while you're finishing it at the tail end or at the end, you have like a brief moment of dodge still technically there, even though you're no longer in the animation. Again, I don't know. I'm not a game developer, so if you do know, again, hit me up in the comment section. I want to know. And take a look at this. The critical strike. The Veteran has a 10% base, while everyone else only has a 5%. Pretty interesting if you ask me, because the Zealot actually has feats and talents around crit, and yet it has the least amount of crit. So maybe, I mean, maybe you could argue that's by design, because he would be very strong because he's already built around that. So having even more crit chance would just make him even stronger right out of the gate. But then, like, why put it on the Veteran? I don't know. Just seems weird. Like, maybe you should give it to the Ogryn so he has the off chance of just like one-tapping people because of that crit strike, because it's a lot higher than any of the other classes. I don't know. Something I thought of just on the top of my head. So these are some cool stats, guys. I want you to look into this. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can go take a look and you can compare with this to your friends. Thought this was really cool. And then they also found some more things. I just want to point this out here, that the weapons have base crit, but not all weapons tell you this. They don't list it. It's not there when you go into the advanced details and stuff like that. It's not. So take a look at this. Auto guns -2%, auto pistol -2%, bolter 5%, combat knife gives you a 15% base. Grenades give you minus, same with the heavy stubber, and then the las gun, hellbore, and infantry both give you 5%. Kickback on the ADS 5%. Las pistol with a 15%, plasma gun 5%, recon las gun -2%. Oh, interesting. Revolver 5 to 25%, shotgun ADS 5%, surge force staff 5 to 25%, tactical axe 0 to 15%, and the thumper ADS 5%. And again, at the bottom here it says all classes have a base crit rate of 5%, aside from the veteran who has 10%. The rates from the weapons in this table are additive, or in a few cases subtractive. For example, a veteran with a combat blade would have 25% crit, whereas an Ogren with a heavy stubber would have 3%. The weapons with variable ranges such as the tactical axe all have the critical bonus bar, which has a modifier that directly defines their bonus crit chance. Very cool information there, guys. Very interesting. And I got one last thing. I hope you guys have made it this far into the video. There's some more data mining that people are doing, more information. I kind of went through here and highlight things that are important. Green meaning new stuff that I haven't seen before. Yellow meaning stuff we've covered before in previous videos. So this person says, it's very apparent that the future classes have different amount of work in them. Veteran squad leader being the most complete. New Zealot one has the least. Psyker second most. And Gunlugger just above Zealot. So I guess release schedule will follow this, seems most likely. Mention of 7 tiers, 0 being null and up to 6, and crafting is up to tier 5, so I do believe it another tier above. For weapons and stuff like that, we see more mention of the crack grenade, as well as throwing knives, which I thought was just something to point out, which is really cool. Again, the syringe is brought up, but however, we have yet to see anything about a syringe. My guess is maybe the syringe was once what the medical supply is, or maybe it was like a small stim that you could do. Maybe it's like an adrenaline kind of thing, or maybe it's a tiny heal just for yourself. We don't know. Again, any of this stuff can be completely scrapped and or just leftovers, and we'll never see any of it. Now, we also have, I saw exactly one reference somewhere to a two-handed force sword, which I thought that would be really cool to see, a two-handed force sword on anybody, really. Preferably not the veteran, because veteran already has all the cool stuff, but like anybody else, right? That would be cool. Then this one says an unlock at level 8 called Career Path. And this says, if I was to take a guess, it would be to change a character class, not to be confused with the archetype. So like subclass, stuff like that. You can change things maybe once you hit level 8 and kind of go down a different path. Again, it's yellow there because we've talked about that before in previous Datamine leaks. And last but likely least, references the different contracts for melt, complete specific missions, block damage, and collect resources. Could just be referring to ones we already have, like the secondary objective ones, but that's definitely not true for the block damage one. I guess it was removed, probably not going to get added. So, again, just kind of nitpicked there. This link will also be in the description if you want to know more about it and get into more detail and see what kind of cool things you like, all that fun stuff. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Make sure to like that video if you liked it. If you didn't, dislike it, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Your wounds here, psycho. The bomber's dead. Here, catch me! Kill the fragment!